Joseph was Jacob's favorite son, and to show his love, Jacob gave him a beautiful coat of many colors. This sparked jealousy among Joseph's brothers. To make matters worse, Joseph shared dreams where his brothers bowed down to him. This only fueled their resentment. One day, when Joseph approached them in the fields, the brothers seized him. Some wanted to kill him, but instead they sold him to Ishmaelite traders. Heading to Egypt, to cover their tracks, they dipped his coat in goat's blood and told Jacob that Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. Jacob was heartbroken, while Joseph's life took a drastic turn as he was sold into slavery in Egypt. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, a high-ranking officer of Pharaoh. Despite his circumstances, God was with Joseph, blessing everything he did. Potiphar recognized this and put Joseph in charge of his entire household. But trouble came when Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph of assault after he refused her advances. Joseph was thrown into prison, even though he had done nothing wrong. While in prison, Joseph met Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, who were both troubled by strange dreams. Joseph, trusting in God, interpreted their dreams. The cupbearer would be restored to his position. The baker, however, would be executed. Both predictions came true, but the cupbearer forgot about Joseph once he was released. Later, Pharaoh had two troubling dreams. 7 fat cows were devoured by 7 thin cows. 7 healthy ears of grain were swallowed by 7 thin and scorched ears. No one could interpret the dreams until the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh and, with God's help, explained that the dreams predicted 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom and discernment, Pharaoh appointed him as second in command over Egypt to prepare for the famine. Joseph's leadership saved countless lives during this crisis. When the famine struck, it also affected Jacob's family in Canaan. He sent his sons to Egypt to buy grain. They didn't recognize Joseph, but he recognized them. Joseph tested his brothers by accusing them of being spies and demanded they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, as proof of their honesty. To ensure they returned, he kept Simeon as a hostage. Reluctantly, Jacob allowed Benjamin to go with his brothers to Egypt. When they arrived, Joseph was overwhelmed with emotion at seeing his younger brother. He hosted a feast for them, but kept his identity hidden. Joseph tested his brothers further by planting his silver cup in Benjamin's sack. When the cup was discovered, the brothers were brought back to Joseph. Judah stepped forward, offering himself as a substitute to spare Benjamin. This act of selflessness showed how much Judah and the others had changed since they sold Joseph into slavery. Overcome with emotion, Joseph finally revealed his identity to his brothers, saying, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" The brothers were terrified, but Joseph reassured them, "Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." Joseph invited his entire family to come live in Egypt, providing for them during the famine.